Hi, today we're going to talk about how I shot 200 videos with the iPhone 5. Let go.
StephenAllen Music.
Hi, my name is StephenAllen Music, and my channel is all about music production, audio engineering tips. If that is something you are interested in, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss an upload. And welcome to the channel, my friend. All right, the iPhone. It came out at the end of 2012, 2013 season. And I got it probably a year or two afterwards, discounted, of course, refurbished. And that's where my YouTube journey begins. So, I want to go through what I've learned, and we start right now. All right. So, the first thing I had to learn was about image quality. And what does that all in detail? I just started shooting. And I wasn't really consistent on YouTube, but the more and more I started learning about cameras and what I need to do and how to do it, how to get the best image and how to get it sharp and all of that, the iPhone 5 shoots 720p, and I just upscaled it to 1080p and post-production. So what I've learned is keeping the lens clean, for one, because I'm be at the car meets and trying to shoot all the footage and everything at shows and stuff like that, and learning how to keep it in focus was hard but doable. This phone was very capable of what I needed to do. So image quality, so I had to make sure I'm always in focus, make sure my lens is always clean so I can have the best clean picture as possible, and lighting, learning how to use natural light because I didn't have any lights at the time, and most of the time I was outdoors, so that made it a challenge, but it was very, very, very doable. And I had to learn a lot about that because nobody was showing me. But hey, when you're passionate about something, you jump right in. Now, the second thing I had to learn was about audio, and I didn't have an external mic, so I always used the internal mic, and you can imagine how that turned out. But one thing about post-production, you can always clear it up. I couldn't really learn how to really clean it up that much in iMovie, but over time I got a little better. It's just the best thing to do is always shoot in a quiet place. That way you can get more quality out of it, but it wasn't that bad. It hasn't been that bad. I mean, I gotten complaints, of course, because it's like, yeah, I'm winging it. I don't know what I'm doing. But it got the job done, and that's all that matters. Can it get the job done? And the iPhone 5 definitely did. You got to think this phone came out so long ago, and I'm still using it even today in 2019. So, hey, you use what you got, and it wasn't that bad. But what I've learned was always shoot in a quiet place if possible. If not, doing overdubs is not a bad idea, just so that you have cleaner audio in post. So, but definitely vlogged a lot with this camera. And the closer you are to the phone, it's not really that bad. It's when you're standing far away, then you can hear it. You can just hear it. All the background noise and everything, you just hear it. But I learned the hard way. Did some testing, and it was pretty alright. It's pretty decent, but I definitely had to upgrade my audio and get an external mic. Next, I want to talk about shooting with this phone. This was fun because I kept using the iPhone even though I was looking for a DSLR, but it's just so easy to pull your phone out, shoot something real quick, put it back in. Nobody sees you, or you're not really bothering nobody because you don't have like a big clunky camera DSLR and people can see what you're shooting. It just always looked like I was on my social media for the most part, because at first I was shooting vertical for Instagram, for IGTV, and then I wanted to shoot YouTube videos more often, so I had to learn how to shoot horizontal, what type of movements, because I did not use a gimbal at all. I don't know why I never bought one. It is what it is. But it was something I've always been looking into, but it's just something I never really bought one yet. Because it's so many out there and I don't know what to get. Everybody's recommending this, recommending that. I don't really want to take my case off because I'm afraid to drop my phone, but I'm going to have to get over that fear. Because with some of these gimbals, if you got a big case like I did, which I had the Autobots case, which is the most sturdiest one you can get, you got to take it off. And, you know, learning how to have freehand. I'm freehanding, trying to get the smoothest video because iMovie's not good with restabilizing the image without like having them lens flares in there. But I think I did all right for the most part. It's just learning how to freehand and holding the camera steady. And as you can see, the screen is small, so I can't see myself. And then when I'm watching my playback, I don't really see it until I pull it up in post. So learning how to do the movements of like walking forward slowly, walking back, going side to side, different angles. We definitely did our thing though with the studio footage. We definitely made it work. And it's always better to keep the camera steady versus it shaking all over the place, because then it looks very amateurish, if that's a word. I know I said that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. So I learned that keeping the camera steady and have nice, smooth movements. So I will be getting a gimbal soon for my new phone. So it's coming though, but not bad. It's just, you know, learning how to do a couple things, learn how to do a couple motions, what angles to get was the major part, because I never shot video before. I mean, I've shot a music video, my own music video before, but like doing this on a daily vlog, like vlogging style, this was a challenge because learning how to know where to shoot, where the light going ahead, this, down, the third. It was a little complicated, and I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I can do better. I'm getting better. But anyways, yeah. So just shooting. I just learned to keep it steady. But a gimbal will help out a lot, and that is my next upgrade. When it comes to editing, the software I chose to use as my editor and currently still using is iMovie. iMovie's free. It comes with the Mac, and that's what I use to edit on. I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro. And editing, I learned that you got to keep the clips short instead of and just cut out all the dead space, all the mess ups, the bloopers. I love watching myself. It just, seeing how much I mess up before I get the shot. It's like, yo, it's just, it's crazy just watching back. I had to get used to seeing myself on camera messing up and looking crazy. But hey, you gotta throw yourself out there. And iMovie's not a bad software. It's missing some functions. I'm gonna eventually upgrade, but iMovie definitely does the job. And learning how much footage I actually need to shoot, is always better to overshoot. It's always better. Because if you don't have it, you don't have it. But if you have too much, you can always take it out. So keeping my clips short so that my transition between scenes and talking between scenes is a lot smoother, and trying to make it sound like one continuous conversation versus just it being bumpy and all over the place was pretty challenging at first until I got the hang of it. And now I'm doing a lot better. But editing is something I still want to master. We're going to get there, though. We're definitely going to get there. Another point I want to talk about is storage. Storage is key. Storage is key. You need audio, good image quality. You need to be able to shoot smoothly, edit, and you also need storage. Now, I got the 16 gigs. It's not a lot of storage. I don't know why I went with the cheap option when I should have went with the 32 gig, but hey, when your money low, you get what you can. And I ran out of storage a bunch of times shooting, and I had to load up footage on my computer and then boom, back to shooting. So storage is big key. So if you have external hard drives, get the biggest ones you can, because you need the backup. Because if it's not stored at least in 3 places, it's not saved. I've learned that the hard way just by losing session files and stuff like that. So storage is key, and this phone did not hold enough, but I got through it. You know, there's always a way to work around. You just got to think on your feet, basically. But it only has 16 gigs, and I got a lot done with just 16 gigabytes. So I know these days everybody's shooting on 4K, which is a large file. But this phone was 720p, which wasn't that bad. That's why I was always able to get what I need done. So if you're listening to me and you learn anything from this video, get as many external hard drives as you can. The largest ones. You don't need like 1,000 of them, but you do need to get a couple terabytes. That way you can always store your footage and always back up your footage. I can't tell you how much footage I have lost. It would make you cry. So, yeah. So, just to close out and make all my points, image quality is key. You want to have the highest resolution you can possible with a clean lens. You also always want to have the best audio as possible. If you only got internal audio, it is what it is. You can try to clean it up in post. It's not that big of a deal, but if you can get an external mic, I suggest you do your research and find the best one that you can for yourself. Shooting, keeping it smooth, not too shaky. Even if you have to freehand it, you know, learn the maneuver and keep it pretty decent, you know. It's always good. Editing, keeping the clips short and getting straight to the point. You know, editing out the bloopers and the dead space. I had to learn that because watching my earlier videos, like, whoo, why didn't I take this out? But yeah, pretty cool. So that's what I've learned, and that's how I've gotten through it. So anybody who saying, oh, they want to start a YouTube channel, but they don't have a camera, this, down, the third, your camera's in your pocket. There's no excuse. If I can do it, you definitely can do it.